Hey, this morning, Wilson's World, we're out at Albemarle Road Middle School, home of the Hornets. They teamed up with school kids in India on this book right here. And Albemarle Road Middle School, they got a really great international flavor here. When you walk into the school right here in the lobby, oh my gosh, look at all these flags. Great stuff. One World Stories. Charlotte-Mecklenburg school kids teaming up with kids on the other side of the earth. We'll tell you more coming up on Wilson's World in just a few.
And let's check in with Wilson at Albemarle Road Middle School. I hate saying that. It's a tongue twister for me.
Hello.
Hello.
Good morning, everybody. Hello. Hey, we're talking about this book right here, The Malicious Prince. No, it is not a story about one of Ashley's children. This is actually a book that was written. I'm kidding, Ashley.
It could be true.
Kidding. I'm kidding. It's about Morgan's kid. Listen, no, we're having she's not watching. Listen, we are at Albemarle Road Middle School this morning. Did somebody just snort? This is about One World Stories. We're going to tell you all about One World Stories, but one of the students are here this morning. Cameron is here, and you worked on this book, right?
Yes.
Now, for people that don't know, the kids here at Albemarle Road Middle School partnered up with a school over in India, I think it was, right? What was like the most... what was the best thing to you about working with those kids on the other side of the globe? What was the best thing?
Learning about who lives different from us and learning people who have different cultures from us and eat different foods than us. And they like some of the stuff they like that we like.
Yeah, but that was we were just talking off air. That was the thing where you're like, oh, you like the same thing, which kind of made the world a little bit smaller, didn't it?
Yes.
That's pretty cool. And your mom is here as well. Hello, Cameron's mom. For you, like, your son's working on this book with these kids on the other side of the earth. What was the best thing to you? What did you notice? Anything different?
Just coming home every day and just, talking about what he's learned and talking about other people's culture and how they do things differently and what they like to eat and some of the same foods that they like, that we like, and some foods that he's never heard of because he loves food. So he's like, hey, can you maybe make this dish, just something new, or have you heard this?
So kind of the whole family kind of got involved.
Right. So, yeah, he's just been talking about it. He was excited, and he was just very excited for this opportunity. So, yeah.
Well, we're going to tell you all about One World Stories here in just a bit. Now, do you have one of the pictures? I know you put some of the pictures in here. This book is actually available on Amazon. You may remember at the end of last school year, I mentioned this on the show, and I promised I would come back because I was so impressed with the program they have going on. So they partnered up with these. Oh, there you go. Well, there you go. There's one of your pictures right there. Oh, so cool. They did pictures here. They did pictures there, illustrations. They wrote the whole thing. It's available on Amazon. And we're going to tell you more about One World Stories when we come back here in just a week. Cameron got in early this morning, so thank you for getting up early, okay?
Okay.
We got more coming up. Albemarle Road Middle School, weather, traffic, and a whole lot of fun. This is WCCB Charlotte, and we'll be right back.
7:46, here we are, second week of school now.
What day is it?
Wait, I don't know. First week of September, second week of school. You know what I'm talking about, Wilson. Dot the I, cross the T.
No, you're just like all the other parents out there. Yeah, you're just like all the other parents there. Like, is it December yet? What happened? What? Labor Day? Listen, good morning, everybody. We know how it is because we do the same stuff. Listen, if you're tuning in Wilson's World, we're at Albemarle Road Middle School this morning. You may remember at the end of last school year, I shared some pictures on the show on Twitter. I came to this school and kind of checked out this One World Stories thing, and I was so impressed. I said, oh, I'm coming back. We're doing this story. And, hey, here we are. This is Jessica, the founder of One World Stories. What is One World Stories?
So it's an organization that brings students together through cultural awareness. We want to break down cultural barriers between students through personal connections. We do that through story writing. We bring two schools together and they create a children's book. They do through their own writings as well as their own illustrations. And they learn about each other's culture during the whole process too.
And so the kids here at Albemarle Road Middle School partnered up with kids over in India.
Yes, that is correct.
So we had Cameron on earlier, and hearing these young people talk about, well, these things were the same, these things were different, but they not only are they learning about each other, they have to learn how to work together on a project.
Yes, most definitely. They work about they learn about their similarities as well as their differences, and they learn about each other's perspectives too through their creative writing, which is also a really cool collaboration.
What was your goal in kind of getting this whole thing going?
Just in all honesty, to break down culture barriers. It's a huge thing we deal with nowadays, and if we can affect our young generations to care more more and more about the people around us, I think we're doing a good thing.
Well, and you walk in here to Albemarle Road Middle School, and I'll just be, people here, you're watching this like Albemarle Road. Look, they got flags up here. They got international kids. We're going to meet some more of these international kids. They got kids from all over the world. No newsflash for you, kids. Okay, there's kids in CMS schools. The schools right here from amazing different countries that are all here, and you're kind of doing your thing to kind of get this going. We're going to talk more about One World Stories. We're going to have a link up to One World Stories. I am a new fan. I'm a huge fan. I'm so glad you're doing this. This is great stuff. We're going to tell you more and maybe how you can help out as well. We are at Albemarle Road Middle School this morning. One World Stories. I kind of like the vibe here, guys. This is a good thing.
Yeah, and I love the illustrations at the.
Hey, good morning, everybody. We are at Albemarle Road Middle School talking about One World Stories. This kid's one of the reasons that I really love the whole thing. One World Stories. They got kids at Albemarle Road Middle School right here working on this book with school kids over in India. Eloine is here with me. You're in 7th grade?
Yep, I am.
Okay, but you're originally from where?
I'm from Nepal, near India.
Okay, you were born in Nepal.
Yep.
Okay, moved here when you were younger. Okay,
Yep.
And you worked on this book. So you're here in America, a different country from where you
Yep.
were born, working with kids in a whole different country.
Yep, that was fun.
That's international, man.
It's like working with others, it was fun. Hearing about different culture, it was fun.
Yeah.
Tried some food, it was fun.
Yeah.
Everything we did was fun.
So listen, tell me about this. So you guys worked with these kids. How did this work? Because how did you put together a book with kids in India?
We worked, we write stories, and our man, when we went back to India, then they write another story, like we mix it up.
But you had to work together with these kids on the other side of the earth. How did you do that? The internet.
The internet.
Yeah, there it is.
Got a chat. We was looking at their photo. It was fun.
Yeah.
And everything we did, fun.
What was the most surprising thing you learned while working on this book?
There's some kid going to school like miles for like keeping going, and I was very surprised that they got some kids that go to school far away.
They got to go miles, they got to walk miles and miles to get to the school, don't they?
Yep.
Wow.
And I was surprised about that because there should be no kid doing like that. There should be no kids going to school like that.
I love this. He's from Nepal, going to Albemarle Road Middle School, working with kids in India, working with all these kids here. This is great. Listen, we're going to tell you more about this book. We're going to have One World Stories linked up at WCCBCharlotte.com. This is WCCB Charlotte. We'll be right back. It's all good. Listen, Wilson's World, we're out here this morning at Albemarle Road Middle School. Mrs. Lynch is here with us. We got Eloine right here. We're going to talk with Eloine, one of the kids that worked on this book. But first of all, I want to find out, what was it like for you to have One World Stories here at Albemarle Road?
It was an opportunity for our students that is not a normal opportunity that I think kids get, because they got to connect with the kids in India. They got to do, pieces of something with somebody from the other side of the world. And sometimes we forget that there is somebody outside the door. Yeah. And our kids really took to that, as Eloine had shared earlier.
Working on this project, how did that affect them in the classroom? Was that brought in at all?
The excitement went back to the classroom for sure. And the teachers were coming to us going, what are they doing? And what's going on? Because they were talking about it and bringing it back and taking it home. A lot of parents contacted us and said, what do you have them doing? Yeah. So that was great too.
So this is pretty cool stuff. Now, Eloine is here. I promised him he could do a pose right here. Are you ready? Pose in 3, 2, 1. Boom! There it is right there. You really want to do the pose on TV. A 7th grader right here. And now, what are we looking at right here? What is this?
Trees, lines.
Did you do these trees?
Yep, right here.
Okay.
Those trees.
Those trees right there. So you drew these trees, and then you partnered up, and then the kids here in Charlotte worked with the words and the illustrations along with the same kids over in India, and you guys had to work together.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah? So for you, working with this, what was the most surprising thing? Did you learn something about India? Did you try some different food?
Yep, we did. The food was good.
Yeah? Do you remember that? What'd you have?
Well, not really.
No, you don't remember. You just remember you tried it and it was good.
Yep.
And you would try it again.
Yep, I would.
Yeah, it's all well. A lot of times kids don't try new things. That's pretty cool.
It's fun though.
So listen, there may be another kid in 7th grade watching this right now, okay? And they're like, wow, I'd love to do something like this, but they might be a little intimidated. They might be a little nervous to try something new like this. What would you say to that young person out there that's watching this about trying something new?
All is well.
Yeah?
Yep.
Just go and just try it.
Yep, just go and try it. All is well.
I like it. It's good stuff. That's real. Hey, there you go. Short and sweet. I dig that. Listen, we're going to tell you how, if you're watching this, I know we have a lot of teachers that watch the show later in the day at WCCBCharlotte.com. We're going to find out about how you can be a part of One World Stories. But this program, I really kind of feel like we're kind of getting on the ground floor or something like this with this program, you know?
Exactly. We're extending it into this year and partnering with the school in India so that we can continue the work and not just make it a one-time deal. So that's fantastic, too.
I love this. This is great. What was that? All is well?
Your ball as well.
All is well. I love it. All is well at Albemarle Road Middle School. We'll tell you more coming up on Wilson's World in just a few. Back. I really love the story. We've already booked it. We're gonna be back at the school. I love the school. I love the whole vibe. All kinds of good stuff going on. We're at Albemarle Road Middle School. This is Jessica. Jessica and I don't even remember how we met and everything, but we met last year and we started doing stuff and talking about this One World Stories thing. I got to travel as a kid. A lot of people that watch the show know that I wasn't born in the United States. You did some traveling as a kid. That kind of inspired you to do this One World Stories thing, right?
Yes, most definitely. It's just the personal connections that I was able to make as a kid. With my mom was actually, she traveled me and my brother around at a very young age, and to be able to.
You got a sense of the world as a really big place. You can make it small. You meet people. People are the same wherever you go. There's good people all around the world. But I love that you were kind of inspired as a kid, and now you're kind of inspiring all these other kids, showing them all these different cultures and getting them to interact with kids on the other side of the globe. That's what One World Stories is all about.
Exactly. It definitely is. And it's definitely creating those personal connections, because sometimes it takes a personal connection with someone across the world to realize we can create those personal connections here.
Well, but the kids on earlier, they were like, yeah, we like the same stuff. And they seemed amazed that these kids in India would like some of the same things. There were different things as well. So that's one of the things. I love this. I just get a sense of this in your story here. This is going to be doing some good things. If you're watching this, we've got a lot of teachers that watch the show later in the day. And if someone wants to get more involved and want to hear more about One World Stories, what should they do?
Definitely. Go to www.oneworldstories.com. You can scroll to the bottom. You can actually submit your school name as well as your name. Tell us a little bit about you, and we would love to work with you.
And you go into the school and you kind of make a connection with them, with a school in another part of the country, and kind of really get the ball rolling, and the teachers help out. You do a lot of it. The teachers help out. The cool thing I love about this, the kids here, you're actually, all good authors, they have a book signing. There's a book signing coming
There is, definitely. Come visit us at Park Road Books. It's October 13th at 11 a.m.
Yeah.
And the kids will be signing and telling their side of the stories and their experiences and everything, and have a Q&A at the end, too. So.
Well, the book is available on Amazon. I want to mention that. But if you come out to Park Road Books, you get to meet these kids, have a great time. Maybe bring your kids to meet these young people as well. Where does the money from the book sale, where does the money go?
It actually goes back to the schools, directly back to the schools, and helps fund them. And then actually the cool thing is that these schools have actually created sister schools, so they're actually supporting each other. So that's
I love this.
huge.
So much great stuff. We'll have a link up to One World Stories at WCCBCharlotte.com. You might just see it's out there at Park Road Books.